Fluffy! Toby yelled. Michaela spun around at the call, her eyes widening in horror. The dark blue leash Fluffy's collar was attached to had gotten caught. The golden retriever continued to jump and bark, tightening the knots that had become snared around an uncovered root. The royal ran towards Toby, pulling him away from the struggling dog. Toby, we need to go, Michaela insisted as shouts were heard, coming ever closer. I can't lose Fluffy. Please, just let me free her. I can do it. I know I can, Toby pleaded, eyes filling with tears. She's all I have left of my parents. Michaela nodded, releasing Toby's arm. Toby jumped into action, working on loosening the knots. Fluffy continued to bark as the moonlight hid behind the clouds. Toby stopped working on the knots, calming the excited dog, becoming their main priority. Fluffy, Toby whispered as they ran their hands across Fluffy's head. It'll be okay, girl. Calm down. Fluffy stopped barking, lying down next to Toby. With the dog's frantic pulling stopped, Toby went back to working on the tangled leash. Seconds ticked by like minutes as Toby worked towards freeing the golden retriever. Toby once again stopped as the distant shouts grew ever closer. You guys go ahead, Toby shouted as Lynx, Rowan, and Hestia started to walk towards them. I can't leave Fluffy, but Miss Michaela is right. We need to go. Lynx nodded gravely as he rested his hand on Michaela's arm. They're right. We need to get out of here. I refuse. I'm not leaving my son, Hestia sternly replied. Rowan looked towards his brother, making eye contact. A subtle nod passed between the brothers, the silent agreement to stay obvious in their eyes. Michaela and Hestia stared transfixed as Toby continued working with the knots, each one freeing Fluffy from the root. Silence overcame the small group. The only thing heard was pounding hearts and distant shouting that grew louder as the guards sneered. As the flickering lights of the guards' torches started to surround the group, Toby grew more frantic, shaking hands, working ever closer to freeing Fluffy. The 13-year-old cursed under their breath as their hands slipped from the root, the darkness enveloping the group, making Toby's task harder. Toby looked around, taking in the surroundings as the glow of the torches grew closer. Gray eyes swelled with tears as Toby spotted the patch of white roses behind the root. Memories of dancing in the fields of roses with Fluffy and Hestia flashed through their mind as the frantic attempt to free Fluffy continued. Down to the last knot, Toby reached to the side as they pulled the leash with their left hand. The leash came free, perfectly syncing with Toby's movement. Michaela watched as Toby stood up to run, a single white rose gripped in their hands. Fluffy bounded towards the group as Toby started to jog forward. Michaela heard it before she saw it, the familiar twang of a crossbow aimed perfectly at Toby. With a frantic shout, Toby! Michaela ran forward, Toby falling forward as she sank to her knees. No, Michaela sobbed. Please, no. The world seemed to shrink for the small group, Toby's shallow breaths drowning out the shouting of the guards. Toby, you'll be fine. You can make it. Michaela, Toby whispered, their voice weakening. Take care of Fluffy. No, Michaela wailed. You can take care of Fluffy. You will be okay, Toby. Toby shook their head, pushing Michaela away. You... Toby broke off coughing. You need to leave. I'm not leaving you, Michaela cried. I can't leave you. I love you, Miss Michaela. Toby whimpered, pushing the rose into the redhead's hand. Take care of Fluffy. The 13-year-old looked over the sobbing royal's shoulders, locking eyes with Hestia. The weakening child mouthed, I love you, before locking eyes with Lynx. Lynx nodded in understanding as Toby tilted his head toward Michaela, the prince quickly moving forward. Rowan, Linux whispered. We need to leave before we all die. You get Hestia. I'll get Michaela. Rowan nodded solemnly as he moved towards Hestia. Michaela shook her head as she felt arms wrap around her. I can't leave them, she whispered. I can't lose more of my family. Linux grabbed the sobbing girl, pulling her up. Quickly grabbing the golden retriever, Linux pulled Michaela away from Toby. Despite her struggling, Michaela was pulled away from the fading gray eyes. The eyes continued to dull as the white roses lay around the bleeding teen, turning black as the blood seeped into them. Toby smiled and closed their eyes, falling into a peaceful slumber, knowing Fluffy was safe. And so was their family.